Hi, Allyn. Welcome to Coaches on a Mission.
Hi, Dallas. Thanks for having me.
I'm happy you're here. So normally we kick these episodes off with some version of a question from me saying, so how's it going in the hive? But you are actually not a member of the hive. What are you doing here? How did you sneak in?
You mean I don't just get to be a fangirl and show up
Right.
because I want to? No, I have been a fan for quite a while, and I've been interested in the Hive for quite some time. And so I
Mhm.
did get on a call with you to learn more about it. And after I shared what my current kind of business situation is and what my goals are for the next year, you very plainly said, I don't think the Hive is an ideal fit for you. And I was like, a little bit like, oh no, but then wait, so what would be? And
Right.
you gave me a different opportunity. So I just really appreciate that you were able to see that the Hive is more than what my business is going to need right now. And that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah, and now we're lifelong friends, so it all worked out for
Yeah.
everybody. And
Yes.
here you are on the podcast. So
Yes.
thanks for
Yes.
being open to that invitation. I really appreciate having you here.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
want to
you
just say
again.
one thing to our listeners because I think there is this unspoken agreement that not everyone buys into, but too many people do, which is we say one thing, but we do another, right? So I have a program and I make you apply to get in. And then we have a conversation. And I sure tell you that not everyone is invited. But I think in the online space, it's like a nod, nod, wink, wink. We say not everyone's invited, but really, if you can pay for it, you're invited. And I have learned that dishonesty is just not a vibe, right? But also, more importantly, if someone's not a fit, it is not worth enrolling them in your program, whether that's as a private client or in a large group program, it doesn't matter. It is not, it is just not worth it. Even if in the moment, the thing you want the most is that new client. So I am someone who really means it when she says not everyone's invited in for a whole host of reasons. And for you, it was just more than what you needed.
Yes, exactly. I could happily do all the things, but then
Mm,
I'd be so busy doing all of the things that I wouldn't have anything left to work with clients, and that would be a whole sad problem. So,
yeah,
this makes more sense to just be here in this conversation and learn
yeah.
something and then put that into the current structure that I do have that I do want to keep working with. So, yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. And while we're thinking about it, I'm thinking about when this episode is going to drop. We are going to run Client Surge live in March, or yeah, starting in March. So I think this episode is going to drop right around our promo period for Client Surge, which is where you ended up landing, right?
Yes.
Because you
Yes.
didn't need much more than a couple new clients. So for anyone who's curious about that, I'll tell you more later on in the episode during the commercial break. Okay, enough about that. Let's start solving a problem for you. Can you share with me what you would like my guidance on today?
Sure. So I feel like I've got a few kind of key marketing pieces in place as a
Hmm.
foundation, but they're not really yielding the results that I'm hoping for. So I have an email list and I do email regularly every week for a couple of years now, but it's
Okay.
not growing the way I want it to. And I normally am active on Instagram. I love Instagram. It feels easy, it feels fun. And I know that's an ideal way to kind of reach new people. So I'd like to keep that going, improve it where I can, especially with the intention to meet new people and invite them to join my email list and
Got it.
continue that relationship from there.
Okay, so here's what I understand. You've got the habit in place of nurturing your email list. You're emailing them every week. You also enjoy marketing on Instagram, but there is a gap because even though you're nurturing your list, you don't see your list growing. And Instagram is the marketing channel that you would like to use in order to grow your email list. So there's a gap between what's happening on Instagram and how it is or isn't converting into more email subscribers. Did I get it?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And one thing that kind of sparked this awareness was And it may have even been in the application form for the Hive, or somewhere there was a multiple choice and you asked, how many people are you adding to your list? And one of the choices was like several every day. And I just laughed. I'm like, is that possible? Wait, what? You can like have new people on your email list every day? Oh man, that sounds like a dream. And so that just really highlighted that's an area of growth for me for sure right now.
Yeah, got it. So inside the Hive, we have a program called Lazy List Building, and the goal there is 2 or 3 new subscribers every day. We want it to feel easy and automatic and kind of the opposite of this big lift of hosting a summit or running a bunch of ads or doing anything too momentous. So let's see if we can craft a very simple plan to get you started toward this lazy, and I'm using that word with so much adoration, everybody.
I'm
um,
down with lazy.
okay, great. Lazy, routine ways to add a couple new subscribers every single day. Can you share with me and our listeners what, if anything, you're currently doing specifically to move people from Instagram to your email list? What have you tried in the past? What are you currently up to?
Yeah, so there's a bit of a smorgasbord. Every now and then, I will commit to more DM conversations. So if somebody starts following me, especially from a reel, or they just, oh, look, I have a new follower, I'll introduce myself and start engaging and start a conversation. And sometimes get to the point of saying, oh, I have this resource that could help you with that. And then send them a link to a lead magnet. And so that's sometimes that works out. Also, with the same lead magnet, I get a notification through a text message when somebody signs up. And so sometimes I'll just screenshot the, oh, hey, Dallas just downloaded your #1 tool for moms to keep cool. And then I share that. I'm like, oh, look, people are getting this thing. Don't you want it too? And talk about, the benefits, why it's great. And every now and then I'll do like a post or a reel specifically with that call to action to, get that freebie. I
Got
think
it.
that's most of how that's happening.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 would be brag worthy, you've totally got this, influencer status. 1 would be not at all. It's a very big range here. How satisfied are you with the effectiveness of these 3 strategies?
Oh, maybe 3
Maybe a
or
3.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would a 5 or 6 look like?
Oh, perhaps more. What would that look like? That is such a good question, because every answer I'm starting to come up with means more work from me, which isn't a
Mm,
bad thing. um, I think it would look like a more blended approach, or a more balanced approach. It's like I go in spurts with each of these, where I'll just focus on DMs and, cross my fingers and hope for the best. And then if nothing happens, I'm like, well, forget that. I'll go back to posting and more reels. And so I kind of hop around. And so nothing is really like finding traction.
yeah.
So I think a 5 would be like, yes, this feels reliable.
Yes.
Anything that seems reliable would definitely increase that score.
Got it. Reliable, and if I may add, easily repeatable,
Yes.
where it really
Yes.
just feels like a routine instead of, all right, I'm going to do a DM sprint until I just
Yeah.
exhaust myself or get too discouraged, and then I'll be on to the next thing. Great.
Yes.
Well, I have a couple of ideas I would love to share with you, and then we can brainstorm a plan if you're open to it.
Yes, please.
Great. The first idea is I have a feeling that you are likely too subtle when you promote your lead magnet. In other words, I have a feeling you're actually making people try too hard. They have to work way too hard in order to get to your lead magnet. So I'd love to talk through that. And then the other thing I noticed is I would love us to layer in an Instagram strategy that helps you get in front of new people instead of
Yes.
really just focusing on your group of followers and trying to get those followers to convert to your list. So those were two observations.
Yeah.
Can we talk first about making people work way too hard to find your lead magnet?
Yes, and I think I've heard you support people in this way before. So I know I'm not terrible, but I'm sure there are
Yeah.
things that I could do to streamline that process.
Okay.
So I'd love to hear anything you've got.
Yeah. So, you know that everything that all of the marketing strategies that I teach are client centered. So I will often ask myself, what if I was putting the client first instead of my own fears or some strategy, right? We think marketing and we have to get so strategic that there are 17 steps when really it could be two. If I put the client first, what's the easiest way for them to get the most valuable thing? And the most valuable thing is the weekly emails that you are sending out. So I really have to put myself in that mindset. And I just wonder if your DM strategy needs to be more direct. Instead of, hi, thanks for the follow, we start a conversation, and hopefully that will lead to an invitation to the lead magnet. This is something that you could even automate if you're open to just being much more direct with this strategy.
Okay.
And
Yes,
I'll
I'm
tell you
open
why.
to direct.
I don't see my phone here, so I'll wing it, but I know I could open up the Instagram app right now and pull up what looks like a new friend who's so curious and interested about me and my business. And I can smell it from a mile away. I know exactly where this is going. They're going to try to sell me something or get me to opt in. It usually starts with, hi, friend, or hey, babe. And if you call me babe, we're done.
I wouldn't dare.
Right? Hey, babe, how long have you been coaching? If they ask me
Oh,
that
yes.
question first, I know it, right? Am I
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes, I'm cringing.
Yeah. So, one thing that we have implemented this year, and it's been so effective, is being very direct in our desire to be of service. So, if you started following me today, you would get within a couple of days an email a DM that just says, hey, Allyn, here's the script. I saw you in my notifications. Thanks for the follow. I am really good at helping coaches find paying clients, be more visible, and scale in a sustainable way. I've got some free tools that can help you. Which one of those are you focused on right now? And then it'll say one if it's clients, say two if it's visibility, say three if it's scaling. When people reply, that puts them into a ManyChat funnel. Have you experimented with ManyChat at all?
No, I have not, but I know the feeling of being in one of the funnels, and I love it. I can
Right?
tell which accounts use it. I'm like, "Ooh, I'm in a mini chat place." Like, "Ooh, I'm, like, so excited. Where's it gonna take me?"
Right? They're funneling me.
Yeah.
So we're being really transparent about that. In fact,
Yeah.
in my message, I say reply back, and my trusty bot Sasha will send a resource your way. So I'm not trying to pretend it's me. We're very transparent about that, and it's that transparency that allows people to trust me more swiftly instead of, hey babe, how long have you been coaching? Where I'm like, stop pretending you like me. Right? Just
Yeah.
tell me what it is you want to sell.
When I see that, I think, "Wow, this person's got their stuff together." Like,
Yes.
they know exactly what they're doing. They know, what is gonna happen. They have a plan. Oh, thank goodness this person has a plan. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Oh, you're going to love ManyChat. So we will link it in the show notes for our listeners. ManyChat, just to give you some backstory, because sometimes people are really nervous about using third-party apps on Instagram. Meta acquired ManyChat, I don't know, a year and a half ago. So this is an Instagram approved bot or third-party app that you can use. It's really fun and really easy to use. So my suggestion is to take this DM conversation off your plate. The
Yeah.
routine is daily, every few days, whatever that looks like for you. Any new subscriber, you send them a version of this welcome message, and you and I will map it out here in a minute. Okay. And then their answer puts them into the ManyChat funnel, which just sends them the thing they're asking for, and they can opt in for it. And then you can, with ManyChat, set up triggers, right? If they haven't answered within 3 days, you can send them a reminder. If they do answer, you can take the next step with them. You can get as advanced as you would like to with that.
Okay. Very
But what this
cool.
is going to do is spark some creativity, and it's going to eliminate the bullshit. I'm not calling you a bullshitter, but you don't have to play the game anymore of starting a
Yeah.
conversation in the DMs. Offer something helpful. Let those people who want help get it.
Yeah, it's so funny because, yeah, I'm not a bullshitter either.
Yeah.
And even though I've like written out and scripted out kind of my own like automated version, but I'm delivering it, I stop myself and I'm like, oh, what if I tweak it? What if I customize it? What if I do this? And I'm definitely getting in my own way because then I often just kind of fall off and don't even like follow through on the whole conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. And it
anything
just
that will just go
becomes
for it will be much better than what I'm doing.
totally, you don't need to carry that emotional load.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So share with me, first of all, how many lead magnets do you have?
Oh, okay, that's a funny question. Officially,
Okay.
well, let's see, if I count my email newsletter as itself as one, then there's one. Then the number one tool for moms to keep cool is my current best performing. Back in the day, I made one for parenting affirmations, and that was one of those, wow, I think this is amazing, but nobody is asking for it or looking for it kind of projects.
I have one of
So,
those too.
yeah, actually, this is the time of year last year I really promoted it because I'm
Uh-huh.
like, no, not new year, new you. It's just new year, be you.
Yeah,
And if you need some help, here's some affirmations, to help anchor that in. Anyway, so really, it's mainly the number one tool for moms to keep cool.
to be cool. Okay, great. Can you share with us a little bit about what's inside that lead magnet? So if I
Oh,
opt in
yeah.
for it, what am I going to get?
Yeah, you're going to get a PDF guide, and it's basically a customizable worksheet based around a metaphor of a volcano, which
Mm-hmm.
represents your nervous system. So, this is geared towards moms that lose their cool, that flip their lid, that are highly reactive and don't want to be because they know that's not helpful for their relationship with their kids. And so it's the idea of, okay, you want to stop exploding when you're under all this stress. How do you even begin? And so this tool first walks you through identifying 4 stages so that you don't go from zero to explosion. You find what's in the middle so you have more chance to come back down rather than go all the way to explosion.
Got it. Okay, that's awesome. And then do you have a name for your weekly newsletter by
Not
chance?
really. It's
Okay,
just the Child Connection newsletter.
Child Connection. Okay, great.
Yeah. Oh, I should add in with the lead magnet, and I'm playing around with this still, but you get the PDF guide, and then I have some follow-up emails with short videos of me walking you through how to customize it because
Oh, that's
everybody's different.
helpful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really helpful. How cool. Okay. So, and I'm going to guess that your ideal client is a parent who is aware that they would like to be better at not flipping their lid.
Yes.
Okay.
That, yeah, if they could stop that from happening, they know that they and their child would be in a much better place, but they
Yeah.
just can't. Yes, and
Yeah.
for anyone that's saying, "Oh my gosh, that's me," I feel for you because that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Absolutely.
kind of why those are my favorites. I'm like, I used to yell all the time, and with a lot of help and support, I'm in a different place. So yeah,
We'll be sure to
it's
link
possible.
to your lead magnet in the show notes for anyone listening who would get a benefit from it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's script out this welcome message for your DMs. So I got to get a fresh sheet of paper here. Hold on one second. All right. So the template that I recommend is hi, and then you insert their first name. Then I like narrating for folks why they're getting a DM from me out of the blue, right? Which is where
Yeah.
I say, I saw you in my notifications. That's kind of creating the
Yes.
permission structure for me to then reach
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Does
it's
that
like
land for
Instagram
you?
told me you're here. Yes. And it's so funny hearing you say that because that's exactly what happens. I'm like, "Ooh, the red dot. Okay, what's happening? I'm a new
Yeah.
follower.
Yeah.
Hi." So that's exactly what's happening.
Great. Hi, name. I saw you in my notifications. Then I say thanks for the follow because I
Yeah.
want to express gratitude and humanize me and help them feel seen and appreciated. Does that also
Right.
land for you?
Yes, absolutely. And they've also acknowledging they've already taken action. Even if it
Yeah.
was just a tap, they've taken action. So that's
Yeah.
something.
Yep. That's great. All right. So then step 4, I like to, in no uncertain terms, say, I am really good at X. So what would be
Okay.
your words for I am really good at?
Hmm. Okay. In the realm, specifically around the lead magnet, I would say I'm
Mm-hmm.
really good at helping stressed moms understand their triggers.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to just play devil's advocate here and make sure that this is the language your dream client uses before they work with you. Is that the way they would describe flipping their
At,
lids?
at least some, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in
And do they
fact,
come to you? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think people that do talk about their triggers are at a higher level of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
That means they may be more ready to work with me.
Got it. Got it. So my next devil's advocate question: when someone hires you, are they hiring because they want to understand their triggers? Or are they hiring you for the thing that happens after they understand their triggers?
Hmm. They're they're hiring me to stop acting in ways they know are unhelpful. It's
Yeah.
almost like they might hire me to help change their reactive behavior. And they may know that it's because they're triggered.
Yes.
But
Got it.
whether or not the trigger is there, they really want to stop reacting the way they do.
Great. So my suggestion, so understanding triggers is the how, it's not the what,
Okay.
right? If you could help
Yeah.
me stop exploding without understanding my triggers, I'm also fine with that because it's the
Right.
exploding that I want to avoid.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
maybe it's something like I'm really good at helping stressed moms stop being reactive with their kids.
Yeah. And quite more simply, a lot of parents are just worried about their yelling. Like, I yell all the time, and I know that's not cool, but I can't stop. So,
Great.
yeah,
So just for today,
simplified.
let's play with that, right? I'm really
Okay.
good at helping stressed moms stop yelling all the time
Yeah.
or stop yelling
Yes.
at their kids.
Yeah. I like it's so funny hearing you say that brings me right back to the laundry room 4 years ago
Oh,
when, like, I had one of my worst moments. I'm like, "Yeah, exactly." I'm just, like, watching myself wishing I could stop yelling all the time. Yeah.
yeah. Right. So this, I'm just going to sidebar for our listeners. What Allyn and I just went through was just like a gut check or a litmus test to ensure that we're speaking the language of her clients when they're at that moment of actively seeking help. And oftentimes the language they use is different from the language we would use.
Yes. I
Okay.
have found it's very hard to get out of coaching brain and into
Yeah.
marketing brain, and it's such a thing to, like, switch between the 2.
Yeah, it just for me, if left to my own devices, I'm going to speak my own language, right? So any piece of marketing I create, I just stop myself and ask, where am I wrong here? Right? Where am I
Right. Oh,
making
that's a powerful
assumptions?
question. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so hi Dallas. I saw you in my notifications. Thanks for the follow. I'm really good at helping stressed moms stop yelling at their kids or stop yelling all the time. So now we're going to transition to the question, would you like a tool?
Yes. Yeah.
So what the name of your lead magnet again is the number
It's
one
really
tool
long for moms
to.
to keep cool.
Mm-hmm. So how would you ask that question? How would you set that up in the DM?
I thinking about being direct, probably, would you like support in how you respond to your kids?
Yeah. Could we be even more direct and say, I've got a free tool to help you keep your cool. Would you like the download link?
Oh, yes, that is straight there. Yes.
Would you like the link?
Yeah.
Okay, step 6. Reply. Now, here's the thing we learned with ManyChat the hard way. um, ManyChat. So, for example, you couldn't say reply mom and I'll send it to you because they might use that word mom in another DM to you. And then ManyChat's going to send them this automation again.
Oops.
So,
Yeah.
I always try my best to use a funny word combination so that they're replying with a word that they're never going to DM me later. So anything like kids or children or maybe even yelling or anger, you just want to think about commonly used words between you and your audience. So maybe we say reply, what do we want to say?
Could it be volcano?
Yeah,
Because
reply
that's what it
volcano.
is. And that
Right.
doesn't come up. That's never come up in any of my DM
Ever
conversations.
again. Famous last
Yeah.
words, Allyn. Famous
Right.
last words. Now I'm going to just randomly DM you the word volcano just to mess with you.
I can't wait. And then if I've got my ducks in a row, you'll get my lead magnet.
I'll know. Reply volcano and my trusty bot. Let's give your bot a first name.
Oh, right now? Oh my gosh. Luna?
Luna, great. I was thinking Kevin for some random reason, so Luna's much better.
Actually, like, okay, sidebar. When I was
Okay.
in college, a lot of people thought it was funny that I have a boy's name and yet I'm not a boy. And a group of people decided to give me all these other boys' names instead, like Bob, Joe, Biff, Chuck, Steve, and Steve stuck for a while. So yeah, my first email address outside of college was not Steve 512 because that's my name. It's not Steve.
It's not
Anyway,
Steve. That's
so
so
where were
funny.
we? So my chat bot, okay, Luna is kind of sweet, but I like Kevin too, and he's one
Kevin's
of the minis.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So reply volcano and my trusty bot Luna will send it right on over. So this script is something that you can set up as like a preset template inside of the Instagram app. Do you know how to do that?
I think so. I mean, I've got some messages where if I type a code, then it like puts the whole
It'll
message. Okay.
populate. Yeah. So you'll do that and maybe you call, for us we just call this welcome. So we go in, we get a notification. It's me and my friend Kevin, evidently. We get a notification. I just type in welcome and then it populates the rest of this. Great. So the next action item for you is to get a ManyChat account. They have a free version. If you start to get curious about more advanced automations, it's like $29 a month or something like that. So it's definitely an accessible subscription. And then what you'll want to do is build out the build out the funnel from there. So when they reply back, Luna needs to send a response, right? Luna here, thanks for requesting the volcano worksheet. Click below to download it. And then you'll insert a button, right, where they click the button and it sends them to the landing page.
Oh yeah, perfect and easy.
And then you know what you could do, because you've created a welcome sequence for that lead magnet with other videos. You could, in similar timing, right, have Luna pop in and remind them of the video
Oh, yes,
and
because
link
stuff
them to
gets
those
buried
pages.
in email. Hey, just popping back in here to see how it's going
Yeah.
with the keep cool tool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
even, I wanted to just, I sent you this video, but it's so juicy. I want to make sure you see it, which is why I'm forwarding it in Instagram as well.
That is so much more enticing than what I just said. So I'm glad this, I'm glad I can come back and listen to what you just said.
This is being recorded. Great. Okay. So you wanted a more tangible way to move your Instagram community onto your email list. As a first step, how do you feel about the upgrade we've given to your DM strategy?
Beautiful. It feels like it's not that much different than what I was doing, but it's going to be easier and we'll go all the way to the finish line. Um, as opposed to what I've been doing. It will get to the finish rather than flaking.
Yeah,
So that's
great.
definitely a step up.
And I really like the directness of this, where we're not playing any games. I have this free tool. You can have it or not. You're about to talk to a bot after this, and I'm here to help if you need. Okay. So the other thing you mentioned is you will occasionally do a post or a reel with a CTA on it. Tell me about how visible that CTA is. Is it like a tiny little last sentence at the bottom of your caption? How much are you centering the lead magnet?
It depends. It varies, but usually I'll have, some snazzy, well thought out caption. And then at the end, I've tinkered with different CTAs. Sometimes it's, drop a fire emoji and I'll DM you the link or, um, or go to the link in my bio or, different variations. But yeah, it's usually towards the end. Um,
Here's the thought I just had. If I am a parent who is struggling with managing my triggers and keeping my cool, am I going to want to identify myself on the World Wide Web to let other people know I'm struggling with this?
I have asked myself the same question.
Yeah.
And I have really noticed that no, people are not going to raise their hand and say, yep, that's me. Too much yelling over here. Um, and so I think when I'd mentioned that I share screenshots of people that have gotten the lead
Yeah.
magnet to my stories, I'll share it to my stories and then I'll follow up with, hey, this can help you with XYZ. If you're interested, either click the link or, just reply to this, whatever, something simple. So then it's in the DMs. But yeah, the feed is not the place to have everyone
No,
raise their hand and
no,
ask for
no.
this.
Yeah. So I have two thoughts. Number one, let's use this to our advantage in the feed. And then number two, I think there's room to be even more direct in your stories. So maybe in your feed, it's you to camera saying, listen, I know if you are a mom who yells more than you want to, I see you and I want to respect your privacy. I do have a tool that can help. DM me.
Okay.
So you don't have to write a long caption. You don't have to pour any creativity into this at all. You just want to let them know, I see you, I relate, and we're going to keep this between us. DM me the word volcano and I can send it over. So you can take a version of that welcome message and just straight to camera or even play around with a graphic and normalize the fact that moms can yell and don't want to, right? And
Yeah.
narrate that you want to help maintain their privacy,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right? And then in
And
the stories, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I really love hearing you say, and you don't need to get creative
Yeah.
because that just slows everything down for me.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, for so many reasons, but if we center the client, let's let them know that this tool exists and give them the easiest, most private path to get it.
Yes.
No dancing and
Yeah.
pointing or
Yeah.
spending 45 minutes writing a caption required.
That sounds like music to my ears.
Great. And then in your stories, it can be something similar, right? I guess my invitation here is how direct can you be when you share this lead magnet? Because the person who needs it, they need it, right? And they don't want to jump through a bunch of hoops to get it. They don't care about the metaphor you're drawing. They want to know how to get the tool.
Yes. It's so funny when I hear you say that. I'm like, yeah, if this is a stressed out mom, they're not probably reading a bunch of words and they're not even spending 20 seconds watching a whole reel. Like, just get to it
Yeah.
and put it out there. Yeah. Make the
Yeah.
invitation.
And then there's also the shame or guilt they may be experiencing around the fact that they're behaving in a way they are not proud of,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So, which makes it harder to read the long caption or to stay engaged because now there's my trigger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to add something else in here to move. Our goal here, listeners, is to help Allyn leverage Instagram because you really like it, right?
Yep.
And more strategically move folks from Instagram onto your email list. And I wonder if you could do a variation of something we practice inside the Hive, which is lead magnet swaps.
Ah,
But
okay.
could
Yeah.
you do lead magnet swaps on Instagram? And what that might look like, I'm making this up on the fly, so let's see where this goes. What that might look like would be identifying not other parenting coaches, right? But other people who share your target audience. So maybe accounts for recipes or healthy cooking, maybe accounts for
Mhm.
preparing meals for kids, maybe accounts for home decor or skincare. I'm just thinking about what I see in
Yeah.
my own Instagram feed, right? Because I'm a mom. And then the trade, right? You would reach out. Let's say you're reaching out to me. It would be, hey, I have a tool that could really help your community. And I think your tool could help mine. How would you
Yeah.
like to do an Instagram story swap? So all you're doing is inviting me to post in my stories a link to your or a story about your lead magnet. You're going to do the same for me. We'll pop it up on Instagram. And now I'm serving my community by sharing this valuable tool. You're doing the same. And collaboratively, we're both growing our lists.
Yes. That sounds, yes, it is just like a lead magnet swap,
Yeah.
except you're just doing it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like amazing.
Easy.
Yes.
That's the goal, right?
And yeah, and when it's done collaboratively, there's more trust built in already. It's like, oh, this
Yes.
person that I trust is telling me about this other person. Oh, let me go check them out. So yeah, that's
Yes,
really exciting.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing you could even, because we have now this automation built in for follows, the story swap could be not even sharing a lead magnet. It could just be, hey, you need you need to follow the child connection account.
Just
If you're a
follows.
mom
Yeah.
who yells more than you want to, I recommend it. Here's the link. Go follow Allyn. And you could do the same because now when someone follows you, they get that
Yeah.
welcome message and they can get on your list
Yeah.
that way.
Ooh, even simpler. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Very
an
exciting.
easier yes for your collaborator, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Like, hey, check them out, follow, see what's there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we need to discuss in order for this to feel super implementable for you?
Mm. It's funny, as I heard you talking about, okay, who to reach out to for potential collaborations, my brain went right to, I've built this list before when thinking about podcast guesting.
Yeah.
It's the same, right? Like, who would I want to like talk to that serves the same group of people but is in a different niche.
Yes.
So I've kind of built that list tentatively before, but I haven't got really far into deeper research. But I can also just, since it's Instagram, I can just scroll on Instagram and be like, oh, yeah, 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 and find
Yeah.
10 people pretty quickly.
Or what if you found one? So what
Yes,
if we
or
made this
one.
into a routine and it was Tuesday is outreach day. I set a timer. I give myself, I'm pulling this number out of the sky, but I give myself 20 minutes. I'm going to
Yeah.
start by scrolling. When I see an account, I'm going to do my due diligence. Then I'm going to just reach out and propose this story swap. And if I do that, let's see how many I can do in 20 minutes, right?
Ooh, yeah.
And doing that consistently, it turns into a bit of a numbers game, which
Mhm.
is just, it's a game. So I invite you to
Yeah.
play it.
Ooh, yeah. I was my mind just kind of doesn't stop. And so I was thinking about other niches that would be supportive, like, oh, fitness and um, like home organization and home like schooling type things. And there are so many things that have the overlap because moms are into a lot of stuff.
Moms are into a lot of stuff. Yes.
Yeah, moms rule the world.
Perimenopause, right? Like
That's just
health.
my
Yes.
opinion.
That's great. Okay. So, what, if any, commitment do you want to make around this story swap strategy?
Hmm. Part of me wants to say I could commit to something weekly, and then part of me is like, Alan, seriously, be realistic. So maybe like twice a month.
Okay.
Yeah, twice a month to do Instagram swap reach outs.
Great. Great. And
Yes.
before you reach out, you'll just want to think through, like, what's my process when someone says yes? So I had
Right.
someone reach out to me on Instagram yesterday. They host a podcast where they audit people's online funnels, lead magnet funnels. And they said, I'd like to audit your funnel on my podcast. And I was like, hey, hold up. What does that actually mean, first of all? But anyhow, my reply was, I'm curious, tell me more. So you have to be prepared
Yes.
with the answer to that. We want to make it as simple as possible, really lean into the value they can bring to your community and vice versa. Right. So the script might be something like, oh, it's as simple as each of us picking a day where we recommend each other's accounts. I would
Yeah.
recommend your account because of X. And you could recommend my account by saying something like this. How does that sound?
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
just hand everything over. So all they have to do is say, okay.
Yes. Say, yes,
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great. I love that idea. I'm going to take that idea on myself. Okay. So our goal here is to grow your email list through Instagram more strategically. We've automated the DM strategy and just turned it into something that's much more client-centered and direct.
Yeah.
Then we talked about the fact that your dreamiest dream clients are never going to raise their hand in public to say, yep, I'm a yeller.
Yeah.
So can we have very transparent posts saying, I see you. If you yell more than you want to, I can help. DM me this word. So
Yeah.
less creativity from you, more service to them. And then layering in this new project of twice a month, spending some time proposing story swaps. How sustainable does that plan feel for you?
Very sustainable. And what I most love about the last recommendation around the story swaps is that it's not leaving my growth up to the algorithm,
Yeah.
that it's like an intentional action that can yield positive results, not just crossing fingers or trying to keep up with whatever the latest trends are to keep the algorithm putting my stuff forward.
Yeah.
This sounds
Yes,
much
totally.
more relationship based and reliable for sure.
Well, and think of all the fun people you're going to meet.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait.
So I'm think my marketing brain is turned on right now. So what I'm envisioning for this story swap would be, so I say, tell me more. And you say, it's pretty simple. I will send you my favorite Instagram post for you to share to your stories with a quick intro, right? About why
Yeah.
folks should follow my account. And you can do the same. So then
Yeah.
it's just me to camera really quick saying, if you don't know Allyn, you need to, here's why. And then the very next story is one of your posts that
Yeah.
I've shared so people can click on it and then go right to your account and see the post.
Yeah. Super easy. Not
Yeah,
making anything new.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Great. Well, do you have any thoughts or questions before we wrap up?
No, this sounds amazing. And I can't wait to open my ManyChat account because I've been like thinking about it for a while. I'm like, that is right up my alley. I love systems and flows and step by step and things going in the background. So this conversation is, I'm ready. Now I'm going to do it.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I love it when a plan comes together. And what I'm most excited about is the sustainability of this plan. So I look forward to hearing from you on how effective it is.
Yeah, I can't wait to share the results.
Cool. Thanks, Allyn. And I want to thank you for listening. If you are a parent who yells more than you would like, ooh, I'm putting you on the spot, Allyn, send Allyn a DM with the word volcano.
And right
And
now, you'll get a personalized response from
yes,
me, Allyn.
yeah. That's fantastic. All
Maybe
right.
even a voice memo.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you back here next week.
Thanks, Dallas.